In this video, we're going to implement uploading attachments on the posts, the front-end side as well as the back-end side. Now we're going to move on slightly challenging part, and that is going to be adding attachments to our posts. So at the moment we have only possibility to write text and submit button, but we also want to upload some attachments on the posts. And if it's a video and if it's an image, we're going to do also preview of uploaded files. But for the rest of the files, we're going to just put them there so that someone can simply download and have a look on the downloaded version. We're going to also give some kind of restrictions that not every type of file should be uploaded here. Okay, what are we going to do? Let's start with the UI part. Yeah, let me comment this change as well. Fix bug in handle inertia requests. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna close everything and open post modal. This is it. In the post modal, we have this submit button, and we should probably create attachments button as well. I'm going to grab the attachments hero icon. Let me search for attach. This is it. It's called paper clip. So if I duplicate this button, I call this attach files, and it needs some sort of icon that's going to be paper clips. Do we have these hero icons? We do have it. X mark icon. Now we need paper clip icon. This is it. Now go back, and we're going to use this paper clip icon. Let's provide class W for H4 and margin right 2. Okay, we have two buttons, and I'm going to provide this button needs to have flex and items center. And this container needs to have flex and gap 2, and that's it. Attach files and submit. Let's give this button justify center as well. Okay, attach files and submit, and maybe we need icon on submit as well. So let me call submit or save or bookmark. Okay, let's use bookmark. Right here, we're gonna find bookmark icon, go back, and actually, let me copy this, put this here, and we're gonna call this bookmark icon. And I think we need this flex item center and justify center on here as well. Okay, attach files and submit. These attach files should trigger the file upload picker. So let's put right here input. Actually, it needs to have first type file. It needs multiple as well. Then we're going to provide absolute. It will have left 0, top 0, right 0, and bottom 0. Okay, and it's going to be displayed. It is displayed right here because that button needs position relative. Cool. Now we have this button right here. I click on this, it triggers. However, the modal is also closed. So first of all, I'm going to give this opacity 0 so that it should be gone and not visible. But when I click on this, the modal is closed. So we are going to listen to its click and call prevent not prevent, but I think we should call stop. This is what we're going to do. Click on that. It calls stop propagation, so the modal is not closed. I'm going to deploy this on shared hosting using GitHub Actions. As a choice of hosting provider, we're going to use Hostinger, who is very kindly sponsoring this entire project. Hostinger is one of the best shared hosting providers out there. I discovered their services about 3 years ago, and I moved out all my PHP websites from VPS hosting of another hosting provider into Hostinger's shared hosting. There are several great benefits. Very fast and secure servers, full configuration on your PHP versions, extensions, and settings. Nice and modern user interface from which you can manage your domains, DNS, SSL certificates, emails, and much more. Integrated SSH and Git support. Affordable prices. And if you are not happy with their services, they also offer 30 days money-back guarantee. Their premium and business hosting includes free domain, support for 100 websites, unlimited number of certificates, and much more. For a full list of features, visit website hostinger.com/thecodeholic or click on the link in the video description. If you decide to grab hosting, during checkout use coupon code THECODEHOLIC, which will give you extra 10% off on already discounted price. And thank you Hostinger for sponsoring this entire project. Okay, I click on this and now I have possibility to choose multiple files right here. Okay, awesome. Now let's listen to change of that as well on attachment choose. Okay, we're going to create that function. However, we need an area to display the attachments as well. And I think we were displaying attachments in the post item. We had a section for this. So probably we need something similar in this dialog as well. So let me first create this function. Okay, so here we have the template first and then script, but in other components, first we have the script and then template. So I'm gonna just reorder them. But first, let me define the function because I copied the name and I don't want to lose that copied name. On attachment choose. Now let's collapse this. I'm going to cut the entire script and move this above template. Okay, and inside this on attachment choose, let's just print, we're going to accept an event here, event target files. Now let's choose a couple of files. Click open and we see all the chosen files right here. Now let's open post item, and here we should have the place where we are rendering all the attachments. Where's that? Post user header. This is not menu. Let's comment this part. This is a description, and here we see the attachments. Okay, this is the download button. This, if it's an image, so this is preview. Otherwise, we're just displaying the some sort of icon. I'm not sure what this is, so I probably need to replace this with the actual component, not SVG. I can do this later, but my point is that I need now similar layout like this. Okay, let me get that. I will go in the post modal and let me collapse the components which I don't need. CK editor, this template text area, this can be deleted completely. And probably just below this CK editor, I'm going to paste my code for attachment preview. Let's format it, and it starts iterating over post attachments. Obviously, we aren't going to have post attachments. There's a function is image as well, which doesn't exist in our component. We're going to take care of all of that. For now, let me just write false here. and instead of post attachments, I need to read my files. Okay, let's go up. I need to define probably a variable here called attachments. Let's define this here, const attachment files. That's going to be an array. I'm not going to make it ref, probably because I might not need it. Let me think. Yeah, I might need that. So I will change this into ref, attachment files. And I'm going to add kind of annotation, what type of array I think this is going to be. So each object, in my opinion, should look like this. We're going to have a file, which is going to be instance of the file. And we are going to have a source. And that's going to be the actual URL. So if it's an image, it will have some source. And we're going to have also MIME type, based on which we're going to display whether we're going to do the preview of that particular file or we're going to just show a generic file container. So we're going to have MIME and we're going to have source. And why not? Let's show size as well. So this is how each object inside this attachment file is going to look like. So right here, I need to start iterating over the files. Const, actually let's start with const file of event target dot files. And inside this attachment files dot value, I'm gonna push my object. We're gonna have file there. That's gonna be my file. Okay, we need preview as well to preview that file. So we're gonna need source if it's an image. We're gonna have MIME. That MIME basically is a part of file also, so we can read this from file every time. Probably we don't need this MIME and size as well, because we can always read this from the file. So let's just remove them. Only file and source, the preview URL. Okay, let's do like this. But for the preview, we need to read that. And to read that, we need also to check if that file is readable. If it's an image, in our case, we're going to do the reading. So we have that function called isImage into post item, which I plan to export this into not third party, but into an external file. I'm going to do this under resources.js. This is my project, and I'm going to create separate file, call this helpers.js, and then I'm going to do like this, const isImage equals function. We can do this as an arrow function. Okay, but I want to export this as well. So export const isImage is that. Now if I go in the post item, I need to import that. So I will do import something from, I'm going to do this from helpers, and it's called isImage. Here I can replace this. Here I have a couple of components, a couple of imports which I don't use, like this ref is not used. I can remove that. Okay, cool. So this isImage now is imported, and I will go in the post modal, and I need to import that as well. So I will just write if isImage, and that should be imported. So I will write I will import this. Actually, PHP will do the import for me. So here's the import. Let's scroll down below. If file is an image, and in our image, basically, we are treating this attachment as an instance of the database. So if I check post list, here we have these two posts defined. Attachments also, which has ID, name, URL, and MIME. So when this image function was written, the idea was that the attachment would be an instance of that type of object. But we are only interested this attachment to have MIME. If we provide it with MIME, then that function will work for the file class instance as well. If it's an image, I'm gonna do reading. Okay, so I will change this into a synchronous function, and here I want something like this. Await, read file, and pass the file instance. Okay, and this should return the source. So what I would do is just take that object right here, const my file. Okay, this is the object. Inside we have this file, and then my file.source equals await read file, and finally I'm going to put this my file here. So I need to implement this read file right now, which should be a synchronous function as well. I'm going to accept a file here, and okay, I'm thinking, I'm checking if the file is image right here and then reading. Probably I should do this if inside read file. Let's convert this. If it's an image, then we are going to create reader is new file reader. On the reader, we're going to tell to read as data URL and pass the file. Then we're going to listen to on load here. And the reader will have result, which will be the URL. So basically I'm going to return promise from here. So return new promise. We're going to have resolve and reject. I'm going to cut this, oops, put inside the promise callback. And whenever the onload happens, we're going to call resolve, passing the reader result. We can also do on error. We're going to call reject immediately. And if it's not an image, we can resolve with null. If it's an image, we read it, we return the URL, and if it's not an image, we just resolve with the null. So in our case, let's do like this. We can have it like this. Okay, so in our case, my file source will be null for non-image type of files. And after this is finished, let me just print attachment files.value. Okay, let's clear the console. I'm going to choose two files, and we have an error. Is image split? Okay. Let's see. This read file accepts a file, and right here we're passing that file into is image. Inside this image, we expect that given attachment file has MIME. but I think our file has type. It doesn't have MIME. So what we are gonna do is inside isImage, instead of passing file, let's pass MIME corresponds to file.type. We only care about MIME. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to save that. Let's choose two files. Click open. Okay, and here we see that two object array. We have the file and source. We have the file and source. This is looking good. Now let's go to the templates part, and we are iterating over our post attachments. But let's iterate to our attachment files. And each attachment will have actually source. It will not have URL, but I think URL is better name. So let's just, where's that? Let's just give this URL. And if we, yeah, we interpret that part as well. Now we attach two files again. And you see, we have now preview for those two files. Also, yeah, it is always going inside the else. But here we have isImage, and we were passing the attachment. But now the attachment has, actually the attachment has a file. This is not an attachment. This is actually my file. If we check, this is going to be, this type of object is going to be here, the attachment. Let's just rename the attachment and call my file. And inside isImage, we're going to pass the MIME type. But I'm going to do like this, MIME, then myFile.file.type. This is how I'm supposed to do. And in this case, it's going to work. Let me save this. You see, we have a preview of two files, which is looking good. Let's reload the page and choose another two files. This, and this, or three maybe. Here we have the files. But I'm going to improve this isImage function, okay? And I'm going to write const MIME equals, actually let's give it let MIME equals attachment MIME or attachment type. So it will support both. So then I get the MIME, I split it, and I assign it back to MIME. I'm only interested in the first part. So I get the MIME or type, then I do the thing I was doing before. So if I go in the post module here, I can change this now and just pass my file dot file. Okay, and that file will have type. In the same way, here I can just directly file, and that should work as well. Let's reload the page. I'm going to choose two files, and you see the preview is there. So this part works, and also this part works. This download icon is not necessary in this case. So I will just remove that. Let's choose another type of attachment, not an image. If I go in the downloads, I'm going to choose some exe file. Actually, I think, should we restrict uploading exe files? Probably. But if we imagine that this social media website might be useful for sharing some type of social media files, then I think we need to allow that. Okay, let me choose exe file. Click open. Nothing happens. Attachment name. Okay, our attachment doesn't have name. Our attachment has file name. So here, actually we don't even have attachment, we have my file. So this should be my file dot file dot name, right? And here we see this Rufus exe file. And this is, I think, the file attachment. So if I search file, or I think it was a document. Yes, it was document. Maybe we just need this paperclip here as well. It's just generic attachment. Yeah, paperclip will be better. So I will just remove this SVG and I will use paperclip icon. I think we had some within height 12, within height 12. So let's just provide width 12, h 12, and save that. Okay, not bad. Maybe we just need to reduce a little bit. And I think we need margin bottom 3 as well. Cool, and we have this entire attachment section, and I'm going to give it margin top as well. So instead of margin bottom, I'm going to give it margin vertical 3. So there's distance between the text and the attachments. Okay, we have a preview. Let's attach more files. Let's choose Ubuntu and 2 more images. Okay, I think this is good. Why this text is not in the center? Probably because we need to provide the text center to the small. It was right here, class text center. Nice. Okay, but I think we also need possibility to remove the attachment, right? So here, maybe, let's just search for mark. I think it was X mark. Maybe this one. And let me actually search for X mark. It is used somewhere already. I think I'm looking for this one. Reset avatar image. Exactly. So let me copy this button, which has X mark inside, and the button is also rounded. It's a circle type of button. I will go in the post modal and I'm going to paste this here. We're going to give it position absolute. Let's give it right 1 and top 1. Width, height, flex, BG, background red. Let's give it background black. Text wide, rounded, full. And when we click on this, we're going to call a function called remove file. And we're going to pass my file. This is the file that needs to be removed. So let's create that function here. Remove file, my file. And we are going to do the following. File, attachment files dot value equals attachment files dot value filter my file. Actually, let's call this f, where f does not equal to my file. That's going to do the filtering and removing that attachment. So I choose this and this. Okay, you see that. let me make small adjustments in this button. Let's give it 10. The opacity will be much smaller, like this. And also right 3 and top 3. I mistakenly closed post modal. Okay, and we need some hover effect as well. On hover, let's give it bg black 20. Okay, cool. If I click on this, it is gone, it is removed. Perfect. So on the front end side, we are almost ready. Okay, now it is not chosen. And it is not chosen because they are already chosen inside the input field. What's the error here? I think this is old error. Yeah, let's reload it. It should be gone. So I choose these 2 files or 3 files. They are displayed. I delete all of them. Then I choose the same 3 files, and it is not working because they are already chosen behind in the input type file. And we need to just remove them once we read them. So here, after we read all of them and put inside the attachment files, I will do event target files equals null. Or I think it should be even target dot value. This is how we're going to clear the files from the input. So I'm going to save that. Then I'm going to choose these 3 files. Then I'm going to delete all of them and try to choose the same 3 files. And now it works. Okay, so now we have implemented reading files, reading images actually. We haven't done reading video and audio. Let's try to choose one video, but obviously it's not going to do any preview. I'm going to choose one of my videos. Here we see that it is just an MP4 video, but it has this paper clip. So you can improve this right now, and here you can add one more if it's a video, then you can read that video and do the preview, or you can even you can just change the icon right here into video icon, and you can do things like that. Okay, I'm going to leave this for now for simplicity. And also I want to leave something to you. So I'm not going to do every possible feature of this social media website. Is going to take a lot of time. So I think now we can focus on the server side, because we have implemented attaching files, deleting those attached files if we mistakenly attached something else. Let's say I only want images. Okay, perfect. And when I hit the submit, I'm going to send that information to the server. And then we're going to display them, right? Okay, cool. I was thinking, what if we have only one file? Probably we should put this on a full screen. Yeah, and another thing, if we upload just multiple files, okay, let's choose many files. Okay, we are doing preview for all of them. This is something I want to avoid, and I'm going to do the following. So I will do the preview of the first 3, and right here I'm going to show the preview of the 4th one, but I'm going to write there and 10 more files, x more files, whatever will be there, like this plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more files. That's going to be interesting. I want to do that. Whenever I see something the code is not nicely formatted, I always try to do that. Okay, let me think. We have attachment files. Yeah, I think we only need to get right here. I'm going to do slice. Okay, I'm going to do only 4 files from here. So if I save that, it's going to shrink and return only 4 files. But this attachment files itself contains all the other files. So we are displaying 4 here. I think I also want to know the index, because if I have only 3 files here, then I should not write end whatever more files. So I want to get the index, but I think I will not get the index here unless I will get the entries. Let me just check. Yeah, I get the index 0, 1, 2. So I'm going to create one div right here, and the div will only be rendered if index equals 3. Okay, and let's write and 11 more. Let's say like this. I'm going to give this absolute. Let's give it left 0, top 0, right 0, and bottom 0. I'm going to give it Z10, and I'm going to give it also BG black with 10 transparency. And yeah, let's try. I think we have it here, but let's increase this transparency. Okay. This button basically is behind this. So if this has Z index 10, I'm going to give this one Z20. And 11 more. So let's give this also text white. And 11 more is written right here. We should put this in the center. So let's give it flex and items center and justify center. And 11 more. We need to increase its size. Text XL maybe, or 2XL. Maybe we need to increase this even more. Plus 11 more. Okay, this is not bad. This image is actually, the background is too transparent, so call it. So I will increase this into 20 or maybe 30, and this one into 40. Okay, this is good. However, this is hard coded. So what I'm gonna do, instead of 11 here, I'm gonna get the attachment files length minus 4. And it's gonna be 11 in our case. What if I want to, hey, wait, what did I just do? How can I delete the other files? I will not be able to delete the other files if I implement like this. Probably this implementation is necessary for preview. So when we attach those files and we want to render preview right here, the actual post item height should not be very large. Okay, and we're going to display only 4 attachments, and plus X more will be there. By the way, if you close the modal, it is not resetted. The attachments is still there. So let's fix this as well. In the post modal, where is this? Close modal, show value equals. Okay, we're gonna call form reset, and the file attachment files dot value equals an empty array. So I open that, I attach a couple of files. We see the preview, I close this, reopen it, it's empty. Okay, but unfortunately, I need to undo the changes I made here. But I don't want to lose these changes, so I will put them in a Scratch file so that I'm going to recover them later. But I'm going to recover them into preview post right here in the post item. So let me get this entire template, and I'm going to create Scratch file in the my PHP store file, new Scratch file, and let's type view here, and I'm going to paste my component here. Okay, I only need this template part, but I'm gonna undo the changes. So this div needs to be deleted, and also the slice needs to be removed. Now I open this, choose menu files, and we see all of them right here. And we can just start deleting them. Your support is the most important thing for me. So the single best thing what you can do right now is to pause the video, hit the subscribe and the like button, and continue watching. I would really appreciate. Thank you. First of all, let's comment the changes what we made. And I'm going to call this implement uploading attachments on vue.js site. Let's hit commit. Now we're going to focus on the server side, and for this we need to send the files to the server, and we have form variable in the post modal right here, and we are going to give files to this form to be an empty array, or let's call this attachments maybe. Okay, then on submit, what we are going to do is just form files or form attachments equals attachment files dot value map, because every attachment file contains, where's that? Every attachment file contains the following type of object, which has file and URL right there, and we only care about the file itself, not the URL. We are gonna do like this. We're gonna map, like my file will be mapped into myfile.file. And then we're gonna do the update or create. Now let's see if those attachments are sent to the server side. Let's choose two files, click open, let's go to the network and click on submit. Let's see in the preview. Okay, we made post requests. We don't have okay, I don't see the data sent to the server. Why? This is the case again. I'm going to check this into Firefox. because I'm sure that I may send some data, right? But I don't see that data. So let's open Firefox localhost. It should be different user. Let's open the developer tools. Let's choose 2 files and click on submit. Now let's have a look. This is the request, and inside the request we send the form data, and inside attachment 0 we send something like keyboard, and we probably have attachments 1 as well. So it seems like we sent the data properly. The Google Chrome again does not show that to me. And the response was successful as well, and I think the empty post was created. So now I want to also show the progress when the files are uploaded. I want some kind of indicator progress here, which I will do. But let's go to the server side right now inside store post request. Here we have rules, and I'm gonna put right here attachments dot asterisk. So every attachment is an array, and every attachment should have the following types. Okay, let's go to validation section. File. Let's search all the available validating files. Here we see that mp3. Okay, Laravel provides a variety of validation rules that may be used to validate uploaded files, such as mimes, image min, and max. So here are types: image with minimum and maximum size, probably. We can do dimensions as well, but we are actually allowing different types of files, not only images, but many different types of files. What we probably need to provide is maybe a restriction on the size. We don't want too large files to be uploaded. And also file types. Even though you only need to specify the extensions when invoking the types method, this method actually validates the MIME type of the file by reading the file's content and guessing its MIME type. A full list of MIME types and their corresponding extensions may be found at the following location. Okay, let's open this, and I want to whitelist all the extensions and MIME types I am allowing. I'm going to start with a small list of whitelist of extensions, and I'm going to find all the image related MIME types, image slash. We have a lot of. I don't want to support all. Okay, this is a huge list. I don't want all of them. Okay, let's import this. And this is going to be, we have large list of file classes. Illuminate support facades. No, it should be validation rules file. Okay, and we can allow like JPG and JPEG and PNG and GIF and WEBP. So those gonna be the images we're gonna allow. We're gonna also allow a couple of audio files like MP3 and WAV, and we're gonna allow MP4 as well. And let's allow some docs like doc and docx and PDF, and allow CSV and XLS and XLSX. Okay, this list is going very large. So I'm going to stop here, and you can add the types you want. In terms of size, I don't want to allow too large files here. So maximum size, let's give it to be 500 megabytes maybe. Okay, 500 megabytes. Minimum we can, actually the size should be in bytes. So that should be 500 times let's go to max size, 2 kilobytes. So the size is actually bytes. So what we're going to do is just multiply this on 1024 2 times. Okay. Also, I want to restrict the total number of files. I don't want like 200 or 500 files to be uploaded inside the same attachments. Actually, I'm going to allow zip. However, if someone wants to upload zip, we can allow that. But the total number of files. So we are going to search for inside the validation rules. Where are all the available rules? Here are they. I want array. Okay, let me ask ChatGPT this. I want to validate array of attachments in Laravel. Make sure that array length is not more than 10. Let's see. Attachments is array max of 10. This is how we're going to do. And then we're providing this is file and the mimes here. Okay, good. We can provide that each of them should be filed here, and the attachments itself needs to be array and max of 10. So this is good. We have this white list of our attachments, which in the future we can improve and add more types. Okay, once the validation is passed and the attachments are validated, actually we should not have 10. Let's provide this into maybe 50. Okay, but we also need to go to the by the way, yeah, the default size inside PHP ini is not 500 megabytes. It's much less than 500 megabytes. Okay, and we need to increase that. And also the max file count, I think, is not set by default to 50. It is probably to 20, and we need to increase this as well. But for now, I'm going to upload only a small amount of files, and later we can improve these. So I will go in the post controller, and here inside the store, once we get the validated data, let's dump and die, and let's have a look. Okay, once I submit, the form needs to be resetted as well. In the post modal, let me create one function, reset modal. And what I do here is the form reset and the attachment files equals an empty array, but why I have this underline here. Let's call reset modal from here, and reset modal from here as well. Or maybe just close modal, because close modal does the job. Close modal. And here as well. Close modal. Close modal closes and resets the modal as well. Now let's attach two files and click on submit. And here we get the data. In attachments, we have two uploaded files, which needs to go to somewhere on the file system. And this is now an interesting thing. So we want those files later to be accessible in the browser, right? So they should probably go inside the storage app public. Okay, our public is linked to the storage symbolic link inside public. And here we have right now folders specific to each user. Like this is the folder for user 1 with avatar and cover. And probably inside the public, we're going to create a new folder for attachments. Maybe it should have some subfolders as well. I think so. Yes. Okay, so let's start iterating over our attachments. Once the post is created, let's get the attachments. That's going to be data attachments. And if the attachments is not set for some reason, let's get an empty array. Now we're going to start iterating over our attachments. And we are going to save that on the file system and create also record in the database. Let me open profile controller. And where is the update image part? Where we store this on the following folder. So this is the cover. So this is actually the file, and this is the part what we need. So it's very, very simple actually. We are going to call on attachment. Let's call this file. And maybe we can call this files. So I iterate files, I get the file, I call on file and store that into attachments slash, and I need post ID here. So just created post. Let's get post here. That's going to be my post ID. And we're going to do this inside the public disk as well. And this will return path to me. Now let's check the post attachments, or where do we have that table? Here we have that. Post attachments, which columns we have there? We have post ID, name, path, mime. We don't have size, which I think will be good to have. I think at some point we decided to have size, but then I changed my mind. But then I think right now I think that we should have that size. So let me quickly create migration, PHP artisan, make migration, add size column to post attachments table. Let's hit the enter. Now let's open add size column to post attachments table. Here we have, and on the table, I'm going to call size needs to be an integer, right? So I will call integer size, and it should be required just like name, path, and mime. So I'm not going to make this nullable. I'm just going to provide that it should be after mime. And we need down as well. I'm going to do drop column size. Now let's bring up the terminal, PHP artisan migrate, hit the enter. Let's reload the database, and we see size as an integer right here. Let's close the migration, close the post attachments table, and we have the path, and we need to create the attachment. Attachment equals post attachment create, and let's give the data. We need post ID, which will be obviously post ID. We need name, which is going to be file get client name. However, I want autocompletion, so that I don't remember exactly how this, I think it's called like get client name, but again, I want autocompletion. So on these files, I'm going to add annotation / double asterisk, hit the enter. Actually, we can do also space here, that this is uploaded, illuminate HTTP uploaded files array. So square brackets is useful here. So then as soon as we type the square brackets right here, look at this. So it now understands that the store method accepts path right here and options. If I just delete this, it doesn't understand what is the store method, and I'm hitting right now Control on my keyboard, and it doesn't follow that method. Okay, I provide the square brackets. Now I hit Control on my keyboard, and look at this. It understands. I click and it opens the store method. So we want get client original name. This is it. And we want mime to be file get mime type, and we want actually name, path, and mime. Name. Okay, here we should have path. This is going to be path, and mime, and size. Let's provide size as well. File. The size will be get size. However, I'm thinking right now, we also need created by. Let's just provide this created by. That is going to be the current user. Let's get the user will be request user, and the user ID. This is going to be created by. Okay, so I have a few concerns. First is that those attachments they are saved in the public folder. However, their names should be random so that someone should never guess their names and should not be able to access the attachment. So imagine that there's a private group, there are only a few people in the group, someone is sharing something inside that group which should not be seen by others, and the URLs of those attachments basically should be very hard to guess. It should, like in ideal world, it should also be actually private, so that even if you know the URL, you should not be able to access that if you don't have permission. Again, in ideal world, but this will make that attachment part much more complex. Then if we want to preview those attachments, we have to actually read that from the file system and return that. Again, it's going to make this much more complex. So I'm just going to skip that part. However, if we make the file names random enough to be hard to guess, that's going to be fully enough for this project. And to make this random, I can put a random path right here. So this attachment is saved in the following folder. Now let's actually save this and then have a look. What I want to do right now for sure is that put those properties into fillable of this post attachment. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Fillable. Oops. What did it do? Okay. Now, this is the attachment which was just created. I don't need to return the attachment, I think. But the attachment should be created in the database as well. Am I missing something? The post is created. We get the attachments. We save them on the file system. And then we create the attachment. Yeah, one thing which we need probably is to put everything in try catch. Not in try catch actually, but inside transaction, because if the post is created without attachments and if the attachment was failed, the post will stay created in the database, which we don't want. So what I'm going to do is call db begin transaction, and when everything is done, we're going to do db commit. Okay, if something is failed for some reason, now I will put everything in the try catch. So try everything, and if something is failed, then I'm going to do db rollback, and if everything is okay, I'm going to do db commit. Also, one last thing is that, let's say if we have two attachments here, if the first attachment was saved on the file system, but it was failed during creating this in the database, then the attachment in the file system will still stay there. So I need to delete all the paths that has been created in this loop if something is failed. So inside catch, I think we need to gather all the paths. So I will define a variable here, all file paths equals an array. Then we get the path. Let's push the path inside all file paths. And then we iterate over all file paths. Let's call this path. And we need to delete this. We are doing delete right here. We're going to provide disk as well. The storage facade needs to be imported. So this is how it was imported by PHP Storm. And then storage disk public delete, and we're going to provide path here. That only happens if something was failed. If everything is good, we will just get the successful message. I think we don't even need this attachment, or do we? Let me think. Yeah, if the post is created, we are just going back. We don't need this. We just create the post, and when we go back, the post will be selected with its attachments as well. Okay, now I think we can test this. I'm going to open the file storage as well, so just want to check where the file will be created. but I think we just need to hit the submit. Okay, let's see. Do we see something here? We see attachments. 18. Okay, file is not there. In the database, nothing is there. Okay, it did not work. Let's try this again. I'm going to reload and try again. Maybe we had this window open too long. I don't know. Let's choose those two files, click open and click on submit. Let's now first check the database. Nothing is there. It creates the folder, but there are no attachments. Let me actually check this through terminal. ls-la inside public storage there are attachments. Let's see attachments. There is 18 folder and there is 19 folder. So if we check 18 folder, there is nothing. Okay. File, store, under attachments, post ID. We can provide here as, which should be random name. Let's try like this. str support random. Let's give it 32. That's going to be the random name. Save in the public. Okay, let's try this. Open, submit, post attachments, empty. Okay, there's some issue. I'm gonna undo the change about store as, and I'm going to observe. What's the issue here? Probably we do at some point rollback, but we don't actually print what is the error. So let's just write through. Okay, hold on. We roll back and then we throw the error. Let's see this. Attach two files, click submit. Okay, now here we have that. Unknown column updated it in the. Now it makes sense. Yeah, we need this throw error right here. And this is coming because this post attachment doesn't have updated it. And I think we need to set updated. It should be const updated it equals null. Maybe it should be null or false. I don't remember, to be honest, but if I just don't provide the correct one, it's going to give me an error. So I will hit this submit again. Yeah, let's provide null here. Hit on submit and it was saved. Now let's check the database. We have two attachments. We have the name, we have the MIME, we have the size. We have also random names for both of them. And on the file system, we see two attachments here. This is awesome. I can delete this now, the other folders. And we have two attachments. If I reload, we see two of them. Now let's work on the preview. Where are actually, what is the data returned here? Let's open post item. And this is the place This makes the code not very readable. So I want to replace this with the icon here and here as well. Let me do this quickly. It's going to be like and thumb up and thumb up. Okay, we need to first import that icon from here and thumb up icon, and we need comment as well. Chat bubble. What comment icon did I have there? That was comments. Let's redo everything, and it should be solid, or maybe outline. Chat bubble left right. Let's duplicate this, and I want to import this from outline. From 24 outline. Chat bubble left right. Chat bubble left right icon. Okay, hand thumb up icon and chat bubble left right icon. This is what we are gonna use. We are gonna do here and here. Let's give both of them class w5h5 margin right 2. Okay, good. And I want to import this like from outline as well. Like this. Okay, now let's see what attachments are returned. This is the attachment section. Let's print post attachments. Here we see each attachment, and let's open now post list and see. We need ID, we have that. We need name, we have that. We need MIME and URL. We need MIME and URL. So basically the URL is the only one that is missing. So I will go in the post resource and see these are the attachments returned. And I'm gonna create post attachment resource. PHP artisan make resource post attachment resource. Then let me use post attachment resource collection here. I'm going to provide these attachments. Let's go in the post attachment resource, and I'm going to return ID. I'm going to return name, MIME. We need size, URL, created at, and I think created by, do we need that? I think we don't need that, at least for now. So then let's do like this. ID, name, MIME, size, URL. Okay, so about the URL, we are gonna do storage URL and provide this path. Now I save this and reload, and we see the preview. Let's go into post item, and I'm going to remove this pre. and we see two items right here, and we have download icon, which is something we need to implement. But let me actually upload now multiple files, many files. Okay, we have a lot of click, submit. Okay, this is the case. So all of them we are uploaded. And now this is the case where I want to show first, second, and right here I want to show plus whatever more. Okay, so here is the scratch file which I created earlier, and here's the logic. So basically what I want to do is first to slice from 0 to 4. This will only display the 4 attachments. Then I need that if right here. So I'm going to get this, and I'm going to wait. So this is the group. Yeah, this is the template, and I'm going to put this inside the group. Let's format the code, and I need index as well. So that's going to be attachment, comma, index here, and post attachments is what I'm going to use here. Okay, so if this is the fourth one, then we're going to display this. And now look at this. So we see first, second, third, plus 10 more here. So we're going to make those images actually clickable in the future, display the gallery. When we click, it's going to go on the full screen. We're going to have this next and preview buttons. We're going to do all of that, but a little bit later. And this download icon needs to be on top of that specific image. So I'm going to give this one Z20, not this one, sorry. This has Z10. This download button should have Z20. Okay, good. So I think so far this is great. So we have implemented creating posts. Let me actually write something. Oops, what is this? Okay. Why is this here? Because it has very high z-index. If we open this post modal, this one doesn't have z-index at all, or how it is. It has z, okay, it has z10. Let's give it z100. Let's reload. Well. It is still visible. Let's see if this Z100. I'm going to search for what Z index is available. Z index. Okay, 100 is not available. This is the case. We're going to give it 50. Okay, 50 is available. And now we don't see this download icon anymore. Let's provide some lorem ipsum text here, plus I want to attach one file. I'm going to hit on submit. Okay, this is the case maybe where we want to display this file on a full width. If there's only one file, we're going to do this on a full width. Okay, let's make it the post item. How we're going to do this? Here we have these grid calls 2, and we have grid calls 3 on very large screens. Actually, if I remove this, we have 3 right here. Okay. We display plus, actually we could display in this case 2 more, then plus 8 more, something like this. What if we always displayed 2? But if there's only 1, then I'm gonna do like this. So class will be an array. If post attachments length is actually 1, then I'm gonna do grid calls 1. Otherwise, we're gonna do grid calls 2. And this grid calls 2 needs to be removed from here. Okay, now we see that this image is on full width. This is my post. And here we have other images. Cool. Let's put some nice image. Okay. Check. Yeah. Again, if we upload only one file, we can show this on full width. So let's go into post modal. And here it is. Let's remove this and this as well. And class equals an array. If the length is 1, we're going to have grid calls 1. Else we're going to have grid calls 2. Now this is okay. This is 1. However, I don't like this. It's object cover. It should be object contain. What about aspect square? Do we need this? If we don't have aspect square, the parent has aspect square. Okay, we can leave this aspect square. However, we should display the whole image. Okay, check my PHP developer roadmap here, and I'm going to put some YouTube link, https youtube.com the codeholic. Click on submit. Okay, I think I'm going to do the same thing for the post item preview as well for the image. This is the download, by the way, and we're going to replace these into icon as well. There are a lot of small things to fix. Download, this is going to be, I think this one, arrow down tray. So let's move up, arrow down tray icon. Okay, class w5h5, and that's it. Let me undo these things just to make sure, to see what classes it had. It had w4h4. This is it. Let's redo the changes. w4 h4. Save this, and we see that. Where is my image? Here it is. That should be object contain. Okay, this is good. when we click on this, it's gonna go to my YouTube channel. Why do I see this? Okay. Go back. So I think we have to finish implementing the uploading of the attachments. And also every attachment has unique name right here. So it's gonna be pretty much impossible someone to guess the name of the attachment. So then later we're gonna implement editing of attachments. While we're editing the post, we should be able to remove a couple of attachments, probably add new ones. And also we're going to implement downloading of the attachments. And when we click on the attachment on the image right here, we're going to do the full screen with left and right buttons and previews of all the attachments we have. So we have a lot of interesting things to do in upcoming lessons. In the next part, we're going to implement uploading or deleting attachments during post-update process. And we're going to also implement downloading attachments.